What's good, Commanders fans? Jamin Davis has been released. Another Ron Rivera draft pick gets the axe, and this time he's just straight up cut and release. First round pick. Ron really set this team back, man. And it's so crazy. In the interview, he said that he should be sent a ring. This is the quote he said: "I don't worry about that." He says, "If we go 8-8-1 this year and he fires me, and next year they win the division, and 40 of the 53 players we drafted, and it's the same quarterback, I'm vindicated. Send me my Super Bowl ring." That's the way I look at it. I want us to be right and to see this community have that excitement again, end quote. So he's not going to be getting any type of ring from this regime at all. I know he was joking around, but my goodness, I mean, the first round picks, I mean, Emmanuel Forbes, Jahan Dotson traded away. Then he made that trade, I mean, the only person that's really left is B-Rob. That's it. The trade that we traded back where we could have got Chris Olave. B-Rob, Cole Turner's gone. Sam Howell has been traded. Jahan Dotson traded. So Ron Rivera was just one of the worst drafter, and he should not have been given that much power as a GM and a coach. He never should have gotten that much power. And the people he hired under him too were really darn awful as well. So Adam Peters is cleaning up a lot of mess left from the Ron Rivera regime. And we know Ron fell in love with Jamin Davis because of the military connection in that Zoom that they had at the meeting, the one-on-one or whatever they had, the top 30 visit, or whatever visit they had. He fell in love with the military background because they could relate in that way, and he fell in love with Jamin Davis. Jamin Davis, and I did like him coming out, but of course he was considered a reach. You could have got Christian Darrisaw, you could have got JOK, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah at the linebacker position, but Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio, those guys just could not evaluate the linebacker position to save their lives, or really evaluate any positions, to be honest with you, at all, for the most part. I think the best draft pick that they really had might have been like Cameron Curl out of the 7th round. That's and B-Rob, of course. Cam Curl's not on the team either at this point. But man, and Chase Young gone. Chase Young traded. So we're not gonna let that pick off the hook too. Even at that time, I did want him as well. But every Ron Rivera pick, for the most part, is gone. They really are gone. Yeah, Chase Young traded to the Niners. Jamin Davis released. Jahan Dotson traded to the Eagles. Emmanuel Forbes, 2 picks in his career and just has gotten torched for the most part, even though he had that interception last game. So he's hanging on by a thread. Honestly, if he did not get that interception, and he still may be traded or released or whatever, if he's not traded by the deadline, he'll probably be released or let go next season. It just depends on how he finishes the season out. He still could finish on a strong note. Who knows? I'm rooting for the guy. I really am. I'm rooting for the guy. At this point, we could have got Christian Gonzalez, as everybody says. But if he didn't get that interception and would have got cooked again yesterday or on Sunday, then he probably would have been closer to that hot seat of being released. I think the best you can get for Emmanuel Forbes, if you do get a trade for him at all, if anything more than a bag of chips, you probably have to attach a 7th round pick to Emmanuel Forbes for a 6th round pick or something like that to get him back. Phidarian Mathis, he's hanging on by a thread. Just looking at all the draft picks that are still here that I can really think of, that's really just B-Rob. And Phidarian Mathis is hanging on by a thread at this point. But Jamin Davis, man, like I said, he had a lot of potential. He had the speed, but they drafted him to be a Mike linebacker. They just put too much on his plate. And then now Dan Quinn tried to use him as a defensive end. Jordan McGee most likely will be elevated this week. So that's what people are saying, that it's a corresponding move that's going to happen. Like Ben Standig said, Jordan McGee should be activated off of injured reserve this week. That means opening a roster spot. Jamin Davis, the former Mike linebacker turned outside linebacker turned edge, gets the axe. Maybe there is a world where he comes back to the practice. I don't think he's going to come back to the practice squad. I do think a team is going to pick him up because of the first round pedigree and because of the speed, the athleticism. He has had some flashes. He's made some plays. Let me pull up his stats real quick. I know he's had a couple sacks, a couple tackles for loss throughout his career. Is he a bust? For being a first round pick, yeah, he basically is a bust. He really is. I do remember he got arrested for speeding and whatnot. He was supposed to be a Boy Scout and stuff like that. He couldn't stop speeding. He was going like 80 and a 25 or something ridiculous like that. He was going like 90 and a 20. Something crazy. He was just driving crazy. He didn't serve any jail time for it, but he did have to go to court and stuff like that. His best season, he had 104 tackles and 3 sacks. He had 3 sacks twice. So I do believe there's a team that could use him as a rotational linebacker, as a situational guy that can get to the quarterback at times. If he didn't have that forced fumble in the preseason, he probably would have been released. And honestly, thinking back at it, they probably should have just cut him and not had him on a 53-man roster instead of just stringing him along as a practice squad, or not practice squad, but just not being active on game days. They probably should have just cut him before the season even started at the 53-man roster cuts. I think that's in hindsight they probably should have just did that anyway instead of cutting him now in October 22nd in the middle of the season. But his rookie year, he had 76 tackles, 1 sack. Sophomore year, 104 tackles and 3 sacks. 89 tackles his third year and 3 sacks. And then he had an interception against B. John Robinson where he had the game-sealing interception. That was a good play by him. He did have a forced fumble on Russell Wilson. He had 2 forced fumbles. So last year was really his best year as far as forcing fumbles and taking the ball away. I do remember Dan Quinn trying to hype him up in the offseason and saying that he wanted to use him as that edge rusher role. He tried. He really did. And then Ryan Kerrigan was, working out with him, basically being his personal kind of coach at times and trying to, get him better each game or whatever, each practice or whatever, help him develop. But it's hard to switch positions. It really is. So he played in 5 games, 0 starts, and we are 5-2. So he only played in 5 out of the 7 games so far. He was inactive in 2 games. But I do think a team is definitely going to pick him up. A team's going to pick him up just because, like I said, the first round pedigree and whatnot. But yeah, him, having an opportunity to draft Christian Darrisaw, who could have been a great left tackle for us. But we have a couple good left tackles in Cornelius Lucas and Brandon Coleman at this point. But man, like Ron really set this roster back. But it's crazy that we're basically going up again. We're all the wrongdoings that Ron Rivera did roster wise. We're still rising above that and being 5-2 at this point. So shout out to Adam Peters, shout out to Jaden Daniels, of course, and just the whole new regime and new organization in itself, man. So definitely, disappointed here. There's another first round pick that's released. And I remember when Jamin Davis and Jack Del Rio called out Jamin Davis in a press conference, and then Jamin Davis put that Instagram post from the movie Django, and then he said it wasn't about Jack Del Rio. He was lying at the time. But, yeah, I mean, I wish Jamin Davis nothing but the best. I wish him nothing but the best. I really do. And it will be intriguing to see where he ends up. I could see an NFC East team fooling around and signing him. I really could. I could see the Eagles, because, they love signing our guys. They love, like, Marcus Rosemary-Jack Saint. They signed Amari Rogers. They traded for Jahan Dotson. I could see the Eagles just doing that and just trying to be, spiteful or whatever. And signing Jamin Davis is kind of like, who cares? But I definitely see the Eagles signing Jamin Davis for sure. I can certainly see them doing that. Probably within the next 24 hours. But all right, so they did make some other roster moves. They Kayvon Seymour, he's suspended for 6 games. Let me see what did he specifically get suspended for. I know Jameson Williams is about to get suspended as well, but Kayvon Seymour got suspended for like performance enhancing drugs, if I'm not mistaken. They also signed safety Ben Nickel, who was on the practice squad. Wide receiver Michael Strachan, who's 6'5", and they released safety Sheldrick Redwine. Now I'm gonna talk about Kayvon Seymour real quick, and then I do want to talk about the receiver that they signed. They did have interest in signing Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So Kayvon Seymour violated the NFL PED policy, so that's unfortunate. He was on the practice squad. He did play in that Ravens game too, so I do think they're going to have to sign Kyle Fuller, and that's probably what they're going to do in the next couple of days. I said that yesterday, that they're probably going to end up signing Kyle Fuller, the former All-Pro from the blast from the past from 2018. But all right, let's talk about this guy, Michael Strahan. He's a big body guy, 6'5", 27 years old, 225 pounds, is from Lynchburg, Virginia. Went to Charleston College in West Virginia from 2016 to 2020. He was a 7th-round pick, the 229th pick in the NFL draft. He was a 2-time first-team All-MEC in 2018 and 2019. So far in his career, he has 6 catches for 130 yards, 4.5 40-yard dash, 35-inch vertical leap. So he's a pretty athletic guy, 6'5", 34-inch arm length, 20 bench press reps as well. He had 19. So Strahan was again named first team All MEC after catching 78 passes for 1,319 yards and 19 touchdowns. All new school records during his redshirt junior year. He opted to forego his final season, which was postponed until spring due to the COVID-19 pandemic, to declare for the 2021 NFL draft. So this guy had 19 touchdowns. Goodness gracious, that's a lot of touchdowns, man. Strachan was also a member of Charleston's track and field team and won conference championships in the 200 meters, 400 meters in the 4x400 meter relay, and holds the school record for the 400 meter dash. So, I mean, this guy's an athlete. He's an athlete, man. He set a school record with 1,007 receiving yards along with 8 touchdowns on 48 receptions, and was named first team All MEC in his was that as a redshirt sophomore. So his sophomore season and junior year, he set records. He really did. So this guy's an athlete, but like I said, and he caught a 26-yard catch from Bryce Young last year as well. So those are some of the things that he has done so far. You look at his career in the NFL, he has 23 games, 1 start, 6 catches for 130 yards in his whole career. His longest catch was for 45 yards. I'm sorry, he caught a 45-yard pass from Bryce Young last year. So there's a couple of things that he has done. Let's see if he's done special teams or played any special teams. So he played 54 special team snaps in 2023, 131 special team snaps in 2022, and then 62 special team snaps in 2021. So Michael Stracken, we'll see what happens. I mean, he's probably going to be a practice squad guy, but, he's probably not going to get much. But it was interesting that Adam Peters was interested in signing Marquise Valdes-Scantling. But this guy, Michael Stracken, like I said, he we'll just give him a chance and see what happens. We'll see if he does play or get any meaningful snaps. Cooper Kupp is available, but I don't think they're going to try to trade for him, to be honest. They want a second-round pick. They may have to lower their price on that. And even so, I still wouldn't give up like a third-round pick for Cooper Kupp because he's, 32 years old, and he's been injury-prone for the last year and a half. So I'm not really high on getting Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp would help, though. If he's healthy, he would help. He definitely would help this offense, though. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, just looking at some more stats for Michael Stracken. Oh, let's look at his draft profile too coming up. So strengths for Michael Stracken: elite size and frame, dominated his level of competition, scored a touchdown in 18 of 22 games from 2018 to 2019, raw with additional room for improvement, learned to stair step his routes, beautiful over the shoulder ball tracking talent, able to work way above the rim for easy jump ball wins as well. Highly productive small school wideout with elite size, but with work to be done. Playing against bigger, stronger, faster defenders could create a challenge in transition, as the route running and ball skills will need more development to be pro ready. His size and ability to win jump balls make him an intriguing late round possibility. So his draft projection was rounds 5 through 6. So that's basically the write up for Michael Stracken. He's from the Bahamas as well. So I just want to give you guys as much information that I can about practice squad signing, whatever signing it is. That's what I try to do. So, but yeah, Ron, you're not getting that ring, guy. You're not getting that ring, and thank goodness he's gone, because he really set us back with the draft picks. But actually, we came through. Jamin Daniels, thank goodness we drafted him, and we got Adam Peters. So, and Josh Harris was ready to get Ron up out of there. I couldn't wait. When Ron said he didn't know that he could be eliminated against the Browns after that game, I was like, bro, he should have been fired last year. But I guess it's somewhat of a blessing in disguise that he was still here last year, and we were that bad, and we were 4-13, so we could draft Jamin Daniels. So I guess everything works out full circle. But all right, you guys let me know what you guys think about everything going on. A lot of information. Kayvon Seymour suspended. Jamin Davis released. We signed this practice squad guy. So a lot of information going on right now. It's Darius Smith trade rumors and reports about him too. So we'll see what happens. All right, you guys. Health Commanders as always. Peace.